Again, welcome to the regular meeting of the Morganton City Council, May 6, 2024. This time I'd like the Boy Scout Troop 184, sponsored by the First Baptist Church in Morganton, who's accompanied by Troop Leader Rodney Boback, will lead the pledge, followed by the Scout Oath, if you'll come forward. And everyone, please rise.
Please join me in the Scout Oath. I did Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Scouts, right hand scout sign. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty with God and my country, and to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
These scouts are here because they're working on the citizenship in the community of America.
Excellent.
This time I'd like to ask the Reverend Tom Bland, First Baptist Church, to lead us in an invocation, please.
Will you pray with me? O Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth, and the majesty and glory of your name are evident in this community in so very many ways. In the beauty that we see all around us, in the kindness of people, even strangers, one to the other, and the fact that Morganton remains, as has so often been said, a wonderful place to raise a family, but also, Lord, a wonderful place to retire, a wonderful place to live. We're thankful, Lord, for all of those who devote their lives each day to helping us in this community. We're grateful for those who pick up the trash, those who collect the yard waste, those with public safety who keep us safe, those, again, with public safety, and a few others who fight the fires, those in this room tonight who represent each district, and our mayor, Ronnie Thompson, and our city manager, Sally Sandy. Lord, we pray for each one, as well as for all the city staff. And we ask, Lord, for your wisdom. We ask for your strength for each one in the living of days that contain many opportunities, but nonetheless harbor many challenges as well. We're grateful that we live in this place, and we're thankful that it is such a great place, but may it continue also, Lord, to be a good place, a place that continues to have concern for the moral and spiritual welfare of people, as well as the rights of all, even those who have no such concern. I pray your Holy Spirit will grant wisdom to these council members tonight, to our city attorney, Louis VIII, as well, and to all who are attending. We thank you and praise you for their concern tonight and their commitment to being here. Help us now, Lord, to go forth as even better citizens of this place and of this nation. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Bland. I'd like to introduce council. To my far right, Wendy Cato, our Mayor Pro Tem, Chris Jerding at the City Council, Louis VIII, our City Attorney. I'm Ronnie Thompson, your Mayor, Sally Sandy, our City Manager, Butch McSwain, City Council, Chris Hawkins, City Council, Renee Carswell, our City Clerk, and for our interpreters for our deaf community, Danette Stinwin Bridges and Ernest Williams IV. Our first item of business is a resolution for a retiree. I'd like to read that resolution, please. It's a resolution honoring Jesse O. Peeler. Whereas Jesse O. Peeler was employed by the City of Morganton as a laborer one in the Public Works Department on August 27th, 1997, promoted to truck driver, Public Works Sanitation Department on March 19th, 1998, changed to a senior equipment operator in the Public Works Department on July 1st, 2004, changed to a senior maintenance worker in the Public Works Department on May 28, 2007, and as Jesse O. Peeler has faithfully served and given of his time and effort for the citizens of the city of Morganton for 30 years, and whereas Jesse O. Peeler retired from the city of Morganton as a senior maintenance worker in the Public Works Department on May 1st, 2024, and whereas the Morganton City Council wishes to officially recognize the contributions of Jesse O. Peeler and express their appreciation for a job well done, now therefore be it resolved by the city of Morganton that the mayor present this resolution to Jesse O. Peeler, adopted this 6th day of May, 2024. Mr. Peeler was not able to be with us. He will get that resolution later. Okay. Next on the agenda, I believe, are more resolutions. And we have actually a proclamation for National Public Works. A proclamation for the National Public Works Week, May 19th through 25th, 2024. Whereas public works infrastructure, facilities, and services are of vital importance to the health, safety, economy, and overall well-being of the people of Morganton, and whereas such facilities and service could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals, engineers, administrators, and other employees representing all levels of government who are responsible for and must plan, design, construct, operate, and maintain the public works facilities essential to serve our citizens. And whereas it is vital that the public understand and appreciate the importance of the jobs performed by the dedicated employees of public works, and whereas it is in the public interest for citizens to learn and understand the importance of public work programs such as drinking water, sanitary and storm sewers, streets and highways, public buildings, and solid waste collection and disposal. Whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association and Canadian Public Works Association, be it now resolved, I, Ronnie Thompson, Mayor of the City of Morganton, do hereby designate the week of May 19th through 25th, 2024 as National Public Works Week with the theme of advancing quality of life for all. Furthermore, I call upon all citizens in this community to gain knowledge of and maintain a progressive interest in the public works needs and programs essential to our everyday lives, and to recognize the daily contributions which public works employees make to ensure our health, safety, comfort, and quality of life. Presented the 6th day of May, 2024. I'm going to ask Councilman Chris Hawkins if he'll make that presentation. Ask Michael Chapman to come forward.
Brad Boris.
And Brad Boris, please.
It's an honor for me to be able to give this proclamation to you guys. And I think it's fantastic that we recognize National Public Works Week. These are services that we so vitally need and rely on and sadly take for granted every day. And on behalf of City Council and all the citizens of Morganton, thank you for your leadership and for your crew and everyone in your department that provide these services for us on an outstanding basis every single day. Thank you. Give you this proclamation. Thank you so much.
Somebody told me a long time ago that if you really want to succeed in management, surround yourself with people that are smarter, if not better than you, and with heartfelt gratitude, I've done that. In the Water Resources Department, I'm very thankful. I'm going to let Michael say some words for his department.
Thank you for your recognition. It's always an honor to accept this proclamation. And when I saw the theme this year, I was like, I got to say a little more this year. advancing quality of life for all. So I mean, that right there says a lot. And as most of you know, it takes a lot of people working together to provide the quality of life we have in this community. And it starts with the public, and you can see, public support for what goes on here. Support from mayor, council, city management, for all of our departments working together on a daily basis, collaboration with other governments such as state government and other local governments, and then most importantly, the people out there in the field that takes pride in their work every day. So I'd like to publicly thank Public Works staff, other city staff, our mayor and council, and then I don't want to forget anyone, so I'll just say, and everyone else that supports us on a daily basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Next, we have a proclamation for the DAR America 2050 Patriot Marker. So I'd like to read that proclamation. Whereas on July 4th, 2026, our nation will commemorate the semi-quincentennial anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and as the journey toward this historic milestone is an opportunity to reflect on our nation's past, honor the contributions of all Americans, and look ahead to the future generations which will carry forward the ideals of democracy and individual liberty that make the United States a unique nation in the world community. And whereas the great state of North Carolina, the county of Burke, and the city of Morganton were founded by the Revolutionary War generation and their children. And whereas the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution is a non-political women's service organization established in 1890, whose members are lineally descended from patriots of the American Revolution, and whereas through the President's general leadership, all daughters are spending the next 3 years celebrating Stars and Stripes Forever and rejoicing in our DAR ties of service and friendship by celebrating our nation's rich history and diversity, promoting belonging through membership and dedicated service to God, home, and country, and by completing projects in unique, local, and impactful ways. And whereas from the 250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party in 2023 until the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Treaty of Paris in 2033, daughters are celebrating our nation's rich history and diversity of experience by honoring all men and women who achieved American independence. These patriots, believing in the noble cause of liberty, fought valiantly in establishing a new nation. Among them were the heroic men and women who crossed the Catawba River on October 1st, 1780, on the way to the Battle of Kings Mountain. And whereas the Quaker Meadows chapter, NSDAR, daughters will dedicate a DAR American 250 Patriots marker to these patriots at the historic Greenleaf Ford in Morganton, North Carolina on May 18th, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Ronnie Thompson, Mayor of the City of Morganton, commend this commemoration to all our students. Approve this 6th day of May 2024. I'm going to ask Chris Jernigan and ask Rebecca Heacock to come forward to accept this proclamation.
Rebecca, on behalf of the council and all the citizens of Morganton, I present you with this proclamation. But I also want to take a moment to thank you and all the members of the Quaker Meadows chapter for all the work you do, not just in this, but all the time in helping commemorate these historic events for our community.
Thank you so much. Our regent, Pat Wells, was not able to be here due to a family emergency, and she sends her regrets. Our chapter vice regent, Sylvia Medford, is here with me tonight. As you know, we are a proud sponsor of America 250, and in partnership with the city of Morganton and Burke County, the Quaker Meadows chapter will place the DAR America 250 marker at Greenleaf Ford. And we really want to invite you to the dedication service on Saturday, May 18th at the Catawba Greenway. And we are so grateful for the generous support of the city and city manager, Sally Sandy, and thank you, Mayor Thompson, for your support and for the mayor's proclamation. And we hope to see you there on the 18th.
Thank you so much. We have a proclamation for the American Legion Auxiliary Memorial Poppy Day. I'd like to read that proclamation. Whereas the American Legion Auxiliary Poppy Program began in 1921, and whereas the use of the poppy symbolically comes from the poem In Flanders Field, which movingly begins, "In Flanders Field, the poppies blow, between the crosses, row on row," referring to the poppies that sprang up on the churned earth of battlefields across Belgium and France, where soldiers died fighting. And whereas Poppy Day is a day of remembrance for and a memorial for American soldiers who have paid the supreme sacrifice in order that America remains free, and whereas our military and veterans look upon this little flower as a symbol of the sacrifices of fallen friends, and whereas on Poppy Day, people are asked to wear a poppy in that memory, and whereas many memorial poppies are handmade by veterans in hospitals and workshops, and whereas veterans directly benefit from the American Legion auxiliary programs financed by donations on Poppy Day, and whereas wearing a poppy will unite citizens from across the country who decide to show their patriotism, and whereas National Poppy Day is May 24th, 2024, now therefore be it resolved that the mayor and city council of the city of Morganton, county of Burke, and the state of North Carolina hereby declare May 24th, 2024 as American Legion Auxiliary Memorial Poppy Day, and we urge the citizens of Morganton to participate in this most worthy cause to help support veterans in our community. Proclaim this 6th day of May 2024. I'm going to ask Councilman Butch McSwain to come forward and make that dedication. Please come forward.
Like to have President Avery and President Wright come join me up here.
Mary Wright, you'll come forward, please, and Suzette Avery.
Been a long time. How are you? I'm particularly pleased to do this, being a son of American Legion member and then now American Legion member myself. I remember days and days of the poppies at the post office and at all the shopping centers, and I'm delighted to see this being picked back up again. So thank you all very much, and I present you this proclamation. And if you'd like to say a few words and invite everybody to buy a poppy and wear it.
It has been an honor to come up, to be here to talk about being able to get this proclamation for the Poppy Day, which is May the 24th. We will be receiving, our unit will be receiving poppies to give out and to sell. So as soon as we get the poppies, we will be able to come, usually we go different places to hand them out and to give them to the community for our, and we ask for a small donation, but you don't have to, but we would like for people to participate on that day. So thank you for this proclamation.
Janie, thanks so much. Mary, would you like to say something?
On behalf of the North Carolina American Legion Auxiliary and Unit 322, American Legion Auxiliary here in Burke County, we thank you for this proclamation. And know that the veterans and their families are dear to the hearts of the members of the American Legion Auxiliary. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary and Jamie. Okay, we have a special recognition in the month of May 2024 as American Jewish History and Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I'd like to read that, please. This is from the Human Relations Commission for the City of Morganton. The Human Relations Commission proudly joins hands with people from all walks of life to honor and embrace the diversity, resilience, contributions, and unity of these two communities, which are the American Jewish and the Asian Pacific Islander. First, the history of the Jewish people in America is a testament to resilience, courage, and determination in the face of adversity. From the earliest waves of Jewish immigrants seeking refuge and opportunity to the vibrant communities thriving in cities and towns across the nation today, the journey of American Jews is one of perseverance and strength. In commemorating American Jewish History Month, we celebrate not only the past achievements and contributions of Jewish Americans, but also the endurance, legacy of hope, resilience, and community that continues to inspire us today. Together, let us build a future where the lessons of the past guide us towards a more inclusive, compassionate, and a just society for all. Second, Asia and the Pacific Islands encompass a kaleidoscope of tradition, languages, cuisines, and histories, each thread weaving into the intricate fabric of humanity. From the bustling streets of Tokyo to the serene shores of Samoa, the cultural mosaic shines brightly, showcasing the ingenuity, creativity, and strength of millions. In commemorating Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, let us embrace the spirit of unity and inclusivity. Let us engage in meaningful dialogue, listen to diverse perspectives, and commit ourselves to building a more equitable and compassionate society for all. Together, we can create a future where every individual is celebrated for their unique heritage and empowered to thrive in a world that celebrates diversity. As we embark on this journey of celebration and reflection, let us honor the past, embrace the present, and pave the way for a brighter tomorrow, one where the colors of our collective identity shine even brighter, illuminating the path toward a more just and harmonious world. I want to thank the Human Relations Commission for making that statement. Okay.
Lots of events.
We have events. Okay, upcoming events. The outdoor pool and splash pad opening at College Street Recreation Center Pool and Martha's Park Splash Pad will open at 1 p.m. on Friday, May 31st, 2024. I assume the one at Martin Luther King Park opens that splash pad the same day. Currently accepting registrations from the Parks and Recreation to register for swim lessons, tennis lessons, and summer camp. In downtown, in City Hall, we have Art in the Hall, quilts by Tina Sclarendias and Diane Kolb. Tina and Diane's love of quilting manifests itself over the years of grandmotherhood. The finished quilts displayed represented many hours of work and loving thoughts of family. They are leaving a legacy for their families to grow and cherish. The American Red Cross will be at the City of Morganton on Thursday, May the 9th, from 9 to 1:30 in this room. It is open to the public. The Farmers Market is Wednesday at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 111 North Green Street on May the 1st, the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and 29th. And Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon at 300 Beach Street on May 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th, and June the 1st. TGIF, obviously on Friday nights, will be every Friday night at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. with music starting 7 p.m., and this will go from May through July. Our third Thursday art crawl will be Thursday, May 16th, 2024, 4 p.m. to 7:30 in downtown Morganton. Okay, next on our agenda is the Municipal Power Agency. Sally, do we have an update?
Nothing at this time.
Our next thing is our consent agenda. I believe we have 11 items. Sally, if you'll cover those.
We do, and I would ask that you consider adopting those in a single motion unless somebody would like an item removed and discussed separately. I'm with you, it's hot up here. So for those of you viewing at home, the consent agenda includes minutes from our April 1st council meeting, tax releases in the amount of $5,035.80, award of a contract with First Citizens Wealth Management, and approval of a resolution authorizing the staff to conduct that business, and that is for our investments. consideration of award a contract with Charles R. Underwood, Inc. to perform work associated with a chemical feed system modernization project at the water plant. That is in the amount of $59,768, is included in our budget. Award a contract also to Charles R. Underwood for work associated with the raw water pit bypass project, also at the water treatment plant, also included in our budget, and that is $231,176. And then award of contract with WeatherGuard, and that WeatherGuard Roofing, and that is to do roofing work at the water treatment plant, at the main building there, and that is in an amount not to exceed $168,350, again, included in our annual budget. And then a contract award to Kemp Construction to do some structural repair work in association with the roof repair work, and that is in an amount not to exceed $24,648, also in our budget. And then approval of a new budget amendment that is to recognize the receipt of a restricted contribution for a new comma sign, and that is $15,000 to be applied toward that sign. And that is an anonymous donor. And then consideration of approval of a budget amendment to establish, the next two are establishing project funds. So we're just moving funds from our annual budget to a multi-year project fund because they're not going to get completed this year, and they're going to go past June 30th. So the first one is for the, yes, once again, the Silver Creek Pump Station, because we don't want to have a meeting where we don't talk about it. And that is in the amount of $6,772,772,200. And then also, because we like to talk about this at every meeting as well, we are establishing a project fund ordinance, again, multi-year, for the sedimentation basin improvement, or as we all like to call it, flocculation sedimentation project at the water plant. And that is in the amount of $6,601,400. And then finally, a budget amendment recognizing the receipt of reimbursement for services, and this is in the electric fund, $53,500, and that is for a project with a private company that is installing charging stations at the Cracker Barrel. And this is for the materials and all that are required, and we are working with that group to get those installed.
Do any members of council wish to have anything removed from the consent agenda? Not to have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, next on the list is a consideration of a resolution authorizing the application and partnership with Industrial Commons for U.S. Environmental Protection Agency Community Change Grant. Call on Sally.
Yes, it remains very true that great things happen in this community when we partner with other folks and we get to work together to cause things to happen, and this is one of those examples. And I know Aaron is here tonight from the Industrial Commons. So the Industrial Commons is applying for a $20 million grant from the United States EPA Community Change Program. And as a part of that, the Industrial Commons has asked us to identify some projects that could be part of the grant that would help in improving mobility, transportation options, sidewalks, trailheads, that sort of thing. Will also allow some transportation studies to occur if we're successful in getting the grant. The city has identified $2,450,000 worth of projects that are included as a part of this. But what we need tonight is for you to authorize us to partner with Industrial Commons to do the application and authorize the mayor and myself to execute the documents.
Okay, what's the wish of council?
I'll make the motion to authorize staff to partner with the Industrial Commons to apply for a grant through the U.S. EPA Community Change Program in the amount of $20 million, of which the city would receive $2,450,000 and to authorize the mayor and/or the city manager to execute the necessary documents.
Thank you, Butch. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Chris. Any discussion?
I'd just say that the way I like to accept money, I sure hope this happens.
Aaron, would you like to make any comments?
Thank you, guys, for your support of this. We're really excited. It's a big opportunity. Obviously, a lot of the money would be going directed towards the campus, which is a very ambitious project. As we've taken ownership and gotten into it, there's a lot of work to be done. We're revealing every day we get out there. So we thought this was a great opportunity. There are a lot of, I think, linkages to what the city has done, and we'll continue to keep you guys in the loop. It's a big swing, but we can't do it without your support, so we appreciate y'all letting us go for it.
Thank you so
Of
much.
course.
Any further comments, discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next on our agenda is consideration of a resolution to adopt for fund granting from the North Carolina Department of Agriculture. We're going to pull that. Sally, would you like to make a comment?
I would, and as much as Butch likes to accept money, we received notification from the North Carolina Department of Agriculture this afternoon that they are refining some additional rules, that this is brand new for them, and they released it out of the gate, and I think we were ready to go, and we maybe were ready to go before they were. So they called and asked if we could give it another 20 days. They need 20 days to get the rest of their rules in place. So it's likely we're going to bring this back to you, hopefully at one of our meetings in June.
Okay. Next is consideration of an annexation petition. I'm going to call Wendy Smith forward, please, to talk about 107 Micah Avenue.
Yes, Chad, if you could bring up the annexation map.
We're not through yet, Chad.
There we go.
We go.
Go to the next one. There we go. So the city has received a petition from Shelby Road Properties LLC, who own 107 Micah Avenue, which is off of Old 18, to annex a portion of that property into the city. If you can see the property on the screen, there is a building to the south that is also part of this property, but they only want to annex the part in the yellow to the city, which is the vacant and undeveloped part of that. So we've received the petition. It's a 3.2 acre parcel. It is contiguous to the city boundaries. So the green line at the top of the map on the other side of I-40 is the city boundaries. It is then separated from the city boundaries only by roadways, that being I-40, Old 18, and Micah Avenue. So it is considered a contiguous annexation. The property, as I said, is currently vacant. It does have access to city sewer and the city electric. It is served by Valdez Water, Old Triple Community Water there. There is an existing drive that you can see in there. The city's received the petition. The petition is sufficient and meets the needs of a petition, that being having the survey boundary markers and everything, which is in your agenda. So we're asking the council to certify the annexation petition and to fix a public hearing date on which the public can be invited to express their opinion on the annexation.
Wendy, thanks so much. What's the wish of council?
I'll make a motion to accept the clerk's certification of the sufficiency of the annexation petition received from Shelby Road Properties LLC.
Okay, thank you, Chris. I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Wendy. Any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, if I
Yes.
may comment, just to clarify a couple things, and Wendy may want to break in on this. This is unusual because the property, single owner, it is currently divided by our ETJ boundary. And part of the portion of the property that they are asking to annex is already in our ETJ and part is not, as if this weren't complicated enough. I'm saying all that just to give you a heads up that if annexation goes forward, you may very well also be hearing a zoning change issue, since the part that's not in our ETJ is not currently zoned by the city. It is in the county. So just noting that.
Thank you. Crystal clear now. Okay, so,
The other thing
That's the first map that Jeff had up, if you wanted to see that one.
okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I need a second motion.
Make a motion to adopt a resolution calling for a public hearing on June 3rd, 2024, at 6 PM in the City Hall Council Chamber to consider this annexation petition and directing city staff to publish appropriated notice of public hearing as required by law.
Thank you, Chris. I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Butch. Any further discussion? Wendy, you good? Okay.
Since Louis did mention the other, there is the drive that you've seen in there. Should you annex it, there is an opportunity for you to consider to accept that as a dedicated public street, and we'll present more information on that after the annexation.
Okay.
And one other minor thing that, unfortunately, this property is also currently served by the Salem Volunteer Fire Department, I believe, which means if annexed, you would have to, under the law, provide compensation to them for their lost tax revenue. And
3.2 acres.
And that the portion to be annexed does not include the building, which is mostly the gastroenterologist office.
That's correct.
Okay, any other discussion?
Clear?
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Wendy, thank you so much.
Perhaps we should set that to music next month. Let's have music with it, it seems.
Okay, I think our next thing is consideration of a resolution opposing the changes in municipal election schedule. I'll call our city attorney for some background.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I believe everybody here was on the council in '21 when this very similar issue came up. And you may recall at that time, a local bill was actually introduced that would have changed the schedule of all municipal elections in Burke County from all towns to even-numbered years. The city, as you will recall, vigorously opposed that and joined with the other municipalities in the county in opposing that. The bill was greatly modified, and eventually Valdez, Drexel, Glen Alpine, and others, as well as Morganton, were totally removed from the bill. What eventually passed only affected the county school board and, was it Hildebrand and Rutherford College?
Rutherford College and Hildebrand.
So now, and we'd heard nothing about that here at the city since then, until a couple weeks ago, and we learned that Senator Daniel was considering introducing a bill again to affect the remaining towns in Burke County, including Morganton, of course, moving the elections to even-numbered years. Unless something was done today, I don't think anything has yet been introduced, but Senator Daniel had made clear that he plans to continue doing that, or pressing ahead with that. He has sought the support of the county commission. I know that they haven't taken action yet, and through discussions with some of the commissioners, it may be that they don't take action. But regardless, I believe Senator Daniel wants to press forward with this. And so, after discussion with each of you separately, City Manager and I have drafted a resolution that would oppose that change, and it's very similar in many ways to the resolution we adopted in 2021. Again, at this time, Senator Daniel has said that all he's asking is to move the date of the election. He hasn't yet proposed moving elections to partisan basis, as has already happened, of course, with the Board of Elections. I mean, the Board of Education, my mistake. But obviously, that is one of the concerns that might arise, along with the more general concern that, well, Senator Daniel believes that moving it to an even-numbered year would increase voter participation. But The concern, of course, is that in the even-numbered year, a city election, much less a small-town election, is going to get lost in all the partisan state, federal, county elections that go on in the even-numbered years.
And I
It
might
states that in
add
the resolution.
that in checking with our neighbors in neighboring counties in the region and everywhere, most all of those, except for the ones that were changed last time, are still odd-numbered years, have been and are still, and not seeking any change in that either.
Right. That would be true in the towns in Caldwell, McDowell, Cleveland, Catawba, and most others in the area are still odd-numbered years.
Okay, what's the wish of council?
I make a motion to adopt a resolution stating the city council's opposition to moving City of Morganton elections to even-numbered years and directing that such resolution be promptly delivered to legislators representing Burke County and to any other relevant parties.
Thank you, Chris. I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Wendy. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next on our agenda are some mayoral appointments. We have some vacancies on the Human Relations Commission, and I would like to appoint Victoria Smith and Kel Wright to the Human Relations Commission for terms to expire on May 3rd, 2027. I want to express some deep appreciation to Reverend Wayne Johnson, who has led the commission on occasion, for his service, and just wish him the best. He's done well. Next on our agenda are the 30-day notice for vacancies on boards and commissions, and please bear with me. On our Board of Adjustment, we have one term expiring with 3 vacancies. 2 are county appointments. That will be a council appointment. George Bailey, the alternate number 1, term is expiring June 3rd, 2024. On our Cable Commission, 2 terms are expiring. There are 3 vacancies, 1 AARP, 1 high school, and 1 at-large. Those are council appointments. Dennis Caldwell and Jim Coleman have terms expiring on June 1st, 2024, and there is 1 at-large vacant seat, 1 high school seat, and 1 AARP seat. Under community appearance, 3 terms are expiring. Those are mayoral appointments. Judy Davis, Aaron Kaiser, and Cheryl Grafton have terms expiring on June 30th, 2024. Our Main Street Advisory, 3 terms are expiring with 1 vacancy. Those are mayoral appointments. Billy Steiner, Polly Ledbetter, and Keith Whitaker have terms expiring on June 30th, 2024. Our Cultural Arts Commission, their 4 terms are expiring. Those are council appointments. Julia Mode, Kristen Steiner, Hamilton Williams, and Allison Dula have terms expiring June 1st, 2024. On our Planning and Zoning, their 3 terms are expiring. 2 county commission appointments, and those are council appointments. Eric Engstrom, Waits Gordon, and Bill Lenham had terms expiring June 30th, 2024. Our Recreation Advisory, 3 terms are expiring with 1 vacancy. Those are council appointments. Ruth Roseborough, Chandler Moore, and Harry Harper III have terms expiring June 30th, 2024. Wish to point out, council, we have 1 other item that has been presented to you late, consideration of a resolution opposing the City of Charlotte interbasin transfer request. I'll call on Sally to lead us into that discussion.
Yes, so you have material that was presented to you that was put together after your agendas were put together. This is late-breaking news, if you will, and it is here we go again kind of thing. Back in 2002, Charlotte Water, at the time, received an approval to transfer 33 million gallons a day from Catawba to the Rocky River Basin. That was approved and done. In 2005, Concord and Kannapolis requested 36 million gallons a day from the Catawba River Basin, again to the Rocky River Basin. That started a storm, I think is an accurate description of that. And several local governments in the upper Catawba Basin, of which we are a part, several private groups, quite a few environmental groups, all joined together, and at the end of the day, we spent about a 2-year process. Challenging that request and challenging the procedure, because it was basically presented as, we want this, this is gonna happen, and there really wasn't a lot of discussion and a lot of information that was shared. At the end of that process, there was a pretty lengthy settlement that occurred, and out of that, the process was changed. So hopefully this time, we're gonna have an opportunity to get more information and to know more earlier in the process. The Catawba River is a limited resource, and there is no doubt that it is vital to us. And it is no doubt that we are blessed because we sit at the headwaters and we're at the top of the chain. But that doesn't mean that we don't have to care about everybody in the chain. Years ago, when we were going through the FERC relicensing process, which is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission process, with Duke Energy and those guys, in going through years of drought, the Catawba Watery was formed. And Brad Boris, who you saw earlier tonight, sits on that group representing the city of Morganton. So that is a group that considers and safeguards the valued asset that the Catawba River is. And years ago, by joining that, we all agreed that we would work together to protect the river and that we would work as a group, and then when issues came up, we would consider them as a group. And those are drought restrictions and everything in between. So if the southern end of the river's having a drought, we adopt drought restrictions here, even if we're not, and vice versa, so that we all are functioning together. Next Wednesday is the first public hearing on this, and that is happening in Hickory. And a couple of you have volunteered to be our representatives on that, and Brad is going to be there, and I'm going to be involved in the process again. It is safe to say that at this point, I think we want to ask you to consider a resolution opposing the IBT request. And what we want to do is to slow down, go through the water reprocess. They are really going through a water supply plan. And that's a pretty big deal, and talks about the water supply that we're all gonna have for decades. And we'd like that process to be completed and understand what that says before this is even considered. The other challenges with it are, to take water from one basin to another. And let me just say, we want all of our neighbors to have water. We want them to have adequate, good quality water. It's not about that. But to take from one basin to another without looking at the full picture can start to limit our capabilities, our growth opportunities, while fueling someone else's growth opportunity. And so there are a lot of angles to this. So I ask you to consider tonight adopting, and I believe that Burke County is, and that there are several other communities in our region. So the COG is leading our coalition, we're gonna call ourselves again. Last time I think we were called the Coalition to Protect the Catawba, became our name. We had legal representation, we had billboards, we went to many public meetings in high schools all over on gymnasium seating for hours on end. We had a song that the Upper Catawba that was written by one of our residents, and we all learned the song and we would sing it at these public meetings. So it was a pretty big deal, staying involved, staying engaged. I urge our citizens to gain some knowledge on this and let everyone know, let the North Carolina Environmental Management Commission in Raleigh know that this is not just a yes, it's not just a check, that a lot needs to happen before this happens. I will say that Concord and Kannapolis asked for 36 million gallons, they ended up with 10. So, and they were required to adopt the same drought restrictions that we have, and so if they turn that pipe on, so to speak, and start to use it, even if they're not in a drought and we are, they have to enforce those restrictions on their folks.
What's the wish of council?
Make a motion to adopt a resolution stating the city council's opposition to the City of Charlotte interbasin transfer request and directing that such resolution be promptly delivered to the Environmental Management Commission.
Thank you, Chris. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chris. Any discussion?
Yeah, who oversees their drought restrict? Is that the Emergency or Environmental Management Commission would, how do we know that they've adopted our?
How do we know? Well, they were required to adopt those, and if they, Concord and Kannapolis.
Right.
And there's a monitoring, so if, and the Catawba Watery monitors that and all of those things. This is interesting, I've talked too much already, but this is interesting because Charlotte is a part of the Catawba Watery. Many of our southern friends, as you go down the Catawba, are in the Catawba Watery. Many of our friends in the south of the river basin have water purchase agreements with the city of Charlotte, because they're the big boy.
Including in South Carolina.
Including the South Carolina cities purchased from Charlotte. So there are a lot of moving parts to this, and to say that it needs the proper amount of time and study to really understand it is an understatement.
Any further comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Do any members have anything they'd like to bring to the
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to, just for a moment, considering the events in Charlotte last Monday, it's hard to believe that was just a week ago today. I think all of us want to express to our public safety officers our appreciation, knowing and having it driven home like that. When they go to work in the morning, they don't know what they're facing. And I'd urge all the citizens watching this, everybody here, say a little prayer for them at each night, that they get protection and that they are appreciated for what they do. And I thank you guys.
Thank you, Butch. Anything else to come before council? If not, we're adjourned.